okay, on the forehand and the backhand.
Your racket is here.
Okay. The other thing I've got here is the X movement. Okay. What do I mean by that?
Short forehand, heavy backhand, short backhand, heavy forehand.
And what's so good about moving in an X pattern?
It's like a point kind of, and like it helps you with your balance.
It helps you with your balance. Most important things, it helps you with your balance, but it also helps you to play high percentages. So if I push you back with a heavy ball and you go back on a diagonal, you can get your base, hit high, heavy cross court. If you hurt me and you get the short ball, you can cut the angle off moving forward. Okay? Very important. Eyes and mind, that just means tactical. I think your primary focus right now should be reading the ball off your opponent's racket so you can take a little bit better court positioning. Okay, especially looking for your forehand. When that happened against Julia, a lot of balls up the middle that you could have taken on your forehand, you're a little bit late to take it on your forehand. Okay? Then the 16-second cure. Okay, I'll send that to you. What it is it's so what you do in between points. So for instance, if I hit a ball, okay, I hit a ball, boom, okay. What do I want? Do I want to do this? Am I going to keep the racket in this hand? Am I going to do this?
No.
No? Okay. So what you're going to do, what the great players do after they play the point, if it's a good point, they give a little fist pump, which you're very good at. They put the racket in the non-dominant hand. That relaxes the body, takes the stress out of the hitting arm, and then they walk backwards. Okay? As they're walking backwards, they're letting go of what just happened. When they get back here, they put the racket back in the non-dominant hand. Usually they refocus on the strings, like that, and then they walk back up either to return serve or to serve. Okay? Managing your energy. What I like about you is even though you get upset when you make a mistake, you don't get too upset. And I like the way you get pumped when you hit a good shot. So make sure that balance, you keep that balance, okay? Because if you can manage your energy and your emotions, you can spend more time solving problems and less time being emotional, okay? That's what great players do. And then I just have a physical thing. I don't know what the boys are doing for their strength and conditioning, but I think, I don't think he needs any weights or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I
do
think
taekwondo.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
They do like once or twice a week.
Okay.
They stopped in between, but again they're back into it.
Okay.
He was fighting through it, but now he wants to do it. So.
Okay. I also think like athletic development.
Yeah. Soccer, he plays soccer.
Perfect.
Travel
Perfect.
soccer.
Perfect. So the main goal right now for him should be to do some exercises and some work that facilitates him keeping his body on the balls of his feet and being able to turn and move without falling back. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay? If we can get rid of the falling back and the crossing over and work on really firing the load, that is going to improve his game dramatically. Dramatically.
So how do we do that?
Plyometric exercises. If you want to come here at 3:45 and spend 10 minutes talking to my strength and conditioning guy, he can give you some recommendations.
Okay.
But that will improve his match play competency will go through the roof. Because once you lose balance in the point, you're probably going to lose a point.
Yeah.
Even if you hit a decent shot, once you lose your balance, you're probably gonna lose a point. And that's what's happening to him. Yeah. Oh, you're up soon, Christian. Okay. So, I mean, those are the main things, and then everything kind of builds. It kind of builds from there. You know, one of the things I think will be great is if he writes an essay with his long-term goals, and kind of incorporates, you know, take a look at this and see what he wants to focus on, but incorporate two types of goals. There are two types of goals. One type of goals is they're called outcome goals. And an outcome goal is like your ranking. I want to be ranked 30 in the East by the end of the year. It's just really based on results. The second type of goal is performance. Performance goal is like a process, improving. Hey, my wife isn't here yet?
No, I got a question for you.
Okay. Excuse me. I'll get it. Performance goals are like addressing the developmental things in here. And then what I would do is after you write that essay with those goals, I would review them with your coach. Okay? Because I think, to me, if there's one thing I've learned being a tennis coach, is that if you want to get better, you have to have a plan.
Yes.
You have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're probably not going to get better. So you got to make every single minute on the court count. Every minute has to count. So I've got this copy, and I'll also set up a call with you and your dad to review the video in about a week. You've done a great job. I mean, I think you've got tremendous potential. All right, but you really gotta, I know you like to win, but this is winning. Okay, this is winning. Getting better is winning. All right, Krish, it's all you, man. All right, so I just did a little table for you with some things that I think you should work on. So on the forehand, again, it's almost the same thing as your brother. Is I want to see the unit turn. The one thing I like about you that you have to maintain. You have an excellent grip. Okay, which is something I work with Dan Man on. He's brought his grip back to where it needs to be as well. But because you have a good grip, you have to make sure that you control the racket face. Okay? So what's happening sometimes is when you try to get more power, you open the racket face. Not good. Not good. And sometimes you go to your forehand slice too much. Okay? So you've got to fight and be very disciplined about keeping the low to high swing shape. Okay? That's very important on your forehand. If you do that, your forehand is going to develop. I mean, you hit some unbelievable forehands over there when you guys were playing, when you hit through. Okay? So on the backhand, very simple. We got that bottom hand has to be continental. Very simple. Bottom hand continental. And look at that Djokovic video. So the racket goes back in the slot. Okay? The racket goes back in the slot. All right. On the serve. I know some of the I got a couple typos in there.
It could maybe a spell checker.
You know what's so funny?
It was a spell check. It changed it. It changed that. I don't know why it changed that.
You know what's so funny? Like in this MITL or like this tournament thing, when they call my name out, they call me Sousa.
Maybe the spell checker. Maybe that's what it is.
And then but in the draw it was wrote in this kid. It says who has Venom, and this kid came around and screamed, "Hey, I'm playing Sousa Venom."
Serve, very simple, continental. Now this is one of the toughest things because when you're playing a set or a match, you want to win and you want to get your serve in. And basically you're thinking, I gotta do whatever it takes to get my serve in. But if you want to get better, you've got to make that switch to continental. It's very important. And the sooner you do it, the better it'll be. So until you feel completely comfortable with it, I want you to start elbow up, okay? And then when you feel comfortable with going elbow up into the motion, then you go back to your full motion, okay? You can do it, you can do it. You hit some really good serves here. Same thing on the toss. The first serve toss goes a little bit out in front to the right, 1 o'clock. The second serve toss comes a little bit back to the left, 11 o'clock, okay? I want you to focus on moving with a slightly wider stance. Why do we want to move with a wider stance?
So I can hit the ball.
Okay, you tell me. So,
Are you hungry?
I'm getting ready for the ball.
Get him up.
I'm getting ready. I'm here, 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 here. Or do I want to be here, here, here? Wider.
Wider.
Wider. Because power. Power comes from a wider stance.
And you get to the ball fast.
You get to the ball faster, power, and balance. All those things come from a wider stance. Okay? Very important. And what's going to happen is it's going to make your legs a little bit more tired. But, you know, so what? You're going to get stronger. All right. The other thing is, Chris, is the timing of your split step is very important. Sometimes kids your age, when they're playing a lot of balls up the middle, they're watching the ball go up and down, and they forget the split step. And then when the other kid hits one good shot, boom, they get caught off balance. Okay? So you have to split step every time your opponent hits the ball, so you can move in any of the 4 directions. Okay? Same thing as your brother, the X movement patterns. Okay? When you hurt somebody, you can't be afraid to move into the court, cut off the angle. When the ball pushes you back, you have to be able to go back as well. Okay? You have a tendency sometimes to not back up enough on the backhand and kind of get caught. Okay? All right. Ball recognition. What do you think that means?
I'm not.
Give it a guess. Ball recognition.
You have to get ready for. You have to get ready for the ball. All the way there.
No.
Do your whole warm up, Bradley. Be there in 5 minutes. Okay. Tell me what's gonna happen to these different balls, Chris. Okay.
Sure.
If I do this, what's gonna happen to the ball?
It's gonna go high.
It's gonna go high? Okay. If I do this,
It's gonna go low.
how did that ball bounce? This ball.
Slice.
Slice. What happens when that ball bounces? Does it
Stay
bounce
slow.
up high or does it stay low?
Low.
Stays low? Okay. What about this?
High.
Did it do anything else when it bounced?
Spin.
What happened to that ball when it bounced?
Slice.
What happened to it? What did it do when it bounced?
Return.
Let me do it again.
It stopped.
Let me do it again.
3 to 9.
In real tennis, Tom does that.
Thank you.
What happened to that ball?
It turned.
It turns, okay. So you should know what's gonna happen to the ball just from what my racket does. Okay? So right there, maybe you didn't know as quickly like as your brother did. So knowing what's gonna happen based on what your opponent's racket does, that's ball recognition. So that way you can anticipate a little bit more. Okay? When you see your opponent brushing up on the ball, you know it's gonna jump. So you have to anticipate the bounce. Okay? When you see them go here,